In this video, I'm going to discuss how to find the missing sides using the trig ratios that we learned previously. Now, the first step is to label the sides. So we are going to look at our reference angle, which is 30, and from there, this side will be the opposite, and that will be the hypotenuse. The second step is to choose which trig ratio you are going to use. We have O and H, which means we are going to use sine because we have the opposite and the hypotenuse. All right, let's carry on. The third step is we need to put the numbers in the formula. Which formula? Sine. Okay, we know that sine of 30 will be equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So sine of 30 will be equal to our opposite, which is A, over hypotenuse, which is 25. Now, what's the opposite of dividing by 25? The opposite of dividing by 25 is by multiplying. Okay? The opposite of dividing by 25 is multiplying. So A will be equal to 25 multiplied by sine 30. And what we just have to do here is to plug this in the calculator. So basically 25 multiplied by sine of 30 will be equal to 12.5. So our answer will be 12.5 meters. Okay, so that's the process on how you work this out. Example 2, find the missing length, marked A again. Step 1, label the sides. So we start by labeling the sides. This is our reference angle. That's the opposite. That's a hypotenuse, which means that opposite and hypotenuse, we're going to use sine. That done. Put the equation in the formula. So sine of 15 will be equal to 25 over A. Okay, so we may have to do something here. Now, before I work that out, I want you to think about this equation. If I have 3 is equals to 12 divided by 4, if I swap these numbers, if I swap them, what happens? I'll end up with this new equation. 4 is equals to 12 divided by 3. Both of these equations are correct, which means if I swap these numbers here, I really don't change the equation. The equation will still be true. And that will help me to find A. So swap A and sine 15. So A will be equal to 25 divided by sine 15. And then you just plug that in the calculator. Okay? You just plug it in the calculator. So you go ahead and say, you can use the fraction. So that will be 25 divided by sine of 15. Always helps if you use the fraction button. And your answer will be 96.6. So our answer will be 96.6 meters. Okay. Example 3. Start by labeling the sides. Okay. So this is our angle here. This will be the adjacent. That will be the hypotenuse, which means we are going to use cosine because we have adjacent and hypotenuse. Now, cosine of 25 will be equal to A over 25. So what do we do here? We multiply because the opposite of dividing by 25 is multiplying. So A will be equal to 25 multiplied by cos of 25. Plug that in your calculator and your answer will be 22.7 meters. All right, let's carry on. Fourth example, let's start by labeling the sides. Again, same thing. This is our angle. That's the adjacent. That's a hypotenuse. So adjacent and hypotenuse, we use cosine. So cosine of 41 will be equal to the adjacent, which is 12 over A. What do? We want A, so we swap, which means that A will be equal to 12 over cosine of 41. Plug that in your calculator, and that should give you 15.9 meters. I've already shown you how to plug this in a calculator. Okay, example 5. Again, start by labeling the sides. That's the opposite, that's the adjacent. Opposite and adjacent, which means you're going to use tan. So we go ahead, tan of 35 is equal to A over 15. All right, what's the opposite of dividing by 15? Multiplying. So we're going to multiply, which means that A will be equal to 15 multiplied by tan 35. All right, plug that in our calculator. What do you end up with? You end up with 10.5 meters. Let's carry on. Example 6. We start by, again, labeling the sides. That's the opposite, that's the adjacent. So we're going to use tan. Okay, done. Steps 3. Write down your equation. So tan of 35 will be equal to 25 over A. We want to find A. Which trick do we use? We swap, because we want A to be on the left hand side. So we'll have A is equal to 25 over tan 35. And just plug that in your calculator. Again, what you end up with is 35.7 meters.